Hey, this is Jazz. You are watching Jazz's Rockin Roadshow, and this episode is going to be a little bit different from all the other ones, and I'll tell you why. I am in my warehouse here, and I've been converting these old VHS tapes to digital via the laptop, right? And it's all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I've got a Western Ship here from 1998 on VHS tape. What's this one? Headbanger's Ball from MTV. Yeah, we used to record shows on big ass VHS tapes like this. But I'd be coming through like a bunch of gems, band stuff, and well, this is the Ewok Adventure. This was a pirated video from years ago. The Ewok Adventure. You can find that online now. But anyway, as I was going through all these tapes, I found a ton of old band footage, and I thought, man, that's kind of crazy that I have all this. But then I found a brand new unused VHS tape still in the cellophane. Like, this is probably, I don't know, what's the chances, right? Anyways, and I thought to myself, what if I shot an entire episode of Jazz's Rockin Roadshow on VHS? Could be interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a bunch of these tapes, and I'm going to find some quasi-decent performances from old bands that I was in around the Pittsburgh area, and maybe we'll visit some clubs and or where the locations were. But the trick of the whole thing is it's all going to be shot on VHS tape. Wow. I can't believe I'm going to do this. So, after thinking about that, I was like, okay, let's do it. So I dug out two old VHS tapes. Now, here's the thing. I shoot most every episode of Jazz's Rockin Roadshow on either action cameras or a 360 camera, which gets everything. So this is not the action camera that I use, but this is about the size of it, right? So keep that in mind, because y'all kids nowadays don't know the struggle we used to go through. Check this out. This is what we used to have to use, and we were happy to have it, right? The battery is bigger than today's cameras, but here it is, man. Big old VHS camera. Tape went right in the side. It's the power charger. It had a light. This was like a fancy thing right there. And the microphone, wow, look at that. The mic's all like just disintegrated. Look at that. Check it out. It just wipes right off. Wow. So yeah, I used this all through like the late 80s. I guess through most of the 90s, or at least part of the 90s. And I'll be honest with you, I was happy to have it. Because back then, you didn't have cell phones at all the shows and stuff. And I know I'm telling this to a crowd of people that knows. Here's another video camera I have. So I had two of them. But I think for this show, we're probably going to use this one. So I'm going to fire it up and see if it works. Well, I tried to charge the battery. And I can't get it to charge because it's, 1,000 years old. But check it out. I think I can still use the power adapter to fire it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try using my trusty Jackery power to do thing. So let's see what we got going on here. Alright, so we got power coming from here into the camera. So let's see if it fires up. The light came on, so check it out. Yeah, this is what it was like. Yeah, ouch. That was it, man. That was the technology. And we were happy to have it. Oh my goodness, and I forgot. The viewfinder's in black and white. Man, is that weird. Alright, let's see if it opens up. Yes. Alright. I got it. Ooh. Oh, I forgot. They used to give you like little stickers so you could like write on them what they were. And this is like the length of it. So you could buy them in different tape lengths. So this one is 6 hours in EP mode. So you could switch how, yeah, so you had like SP mode, you only got 2 hours, but extended play and it looked terrible, you got 6 hours. So we're going to record with 2 hours. Let's see what happens. Man, it's been like 15 years plus since I've used one of these, I bet. I hear noises. Let's see. Let's see what happens when I hit the button. Oh my goodness. Is it recording? Oh yeah, the red light's on and everything. Yes. We have success. So this is going to be Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. The VHS episode, which is also standard definition episode. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So let's meet up. Let's go somewhere and check out an old club. Meet up with some people and talk about the old days and play some videos. So, Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. I am on my way to Bell Vernon to meet up with my good friend Lou Guerrera. Lou used to play in the band Metal Foxx. And the reason I'm going to Bell Vernon is we used to always play at a place called Jam and Skate. We're going to go to the place where it used to be and check it out. So, next stop, Bell Vernon, meeting up with my friend Lou. It's good to see you.
What's up, brother?
Thanks for being on the show.
Hey.
Everybody, this is my dear friend Lou Guerrera from the Metal Foxx years. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff on the show today. You good with that?
I'm good with that.
All right. Well, first off, this is the VHS episode. This is a camera I normally shoot with.
Okay.
But we're going to shoot some stuff with an old VHS camera for nostalgia's sake,
Okay.
right? Because all the videos, I have a video from Metal Foxx, believe it or not.
Okay.
Some Sunset Strip and all those bands.
All right.
So all that's on VHS. So I'm like, let's shoot some stuff on VHS. The problem is, that camera's from like 1980, who knows what. So batteries for that are not available. So I have 3 batteries that don't work. So it means every time I use that camera, I got to plug it in. It's a pain in the butt.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we will find a shot. We'll do a nice shot. I want to talk about Jam and Skate because that's kind of, you and I have a lot of history there.
Oh my. Yes.
This is it, right? This is the door.
That's where it all started.
Yeah, right there. It's an apartment now, huh?
Yeah.
Or apartment complex.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, let's get this camera set up and do a little talking. All right, we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, Lou, give us a little tour here from the outside.
The first set of windows there, that's where the concession stand was. And then the boarded up, that was the hallway, top of the steps so no one could get thrown out. Then the next window is where the video game room was. Because you had to have that back in the day.
Yeah, you did.
And that was it. It's apartments now.
Yeah. Many years have gone by.
Yes.
I first met you back in like 1985 or 6.
You're probably a senior or junior.
Yeah, I was like 15,
School
16
still.
years old. And he played in the most rockinest, and yes, that's a word, band called Metal Foxx. And I saw him up here at Jam and Skate, first time, right? And I came up, and I'd been playing like little bands that play in the basement and stuff. And I walked in, and you guys blew me away because it wasn't just like, there's the karaoke machine
right.
and there's the Pirates on the TV and your band's playing there. No, there was like a full stage, pyro, smoke machines, big amps, light show, all the stuff that like a lot of people take for granted nowadays. But back then, I'm not saying we're old, but no, local bands did not have that stuff. So a lot of national acts didn't have that stuff.
My thought was go big or go home.
Yeah. And I remember leaving there thinking to myself, I don't care what I have to do, I'm getting in that band. And sure enough, somehow I got in playing bass.
Yes, you had called me and interviewed me for the school paper.
Is that what happened? Wow.
Yes,
I don't even remember that.
I think I have that at home.
You got to get that to me.
That and our flyers, I got everything.
Oh man, send that to me. I'll put it on the show.
Will do.
So Lou and I in Metal Fox, we were like born in the kitchen of this place.
Yes.
Lou's brother Jap owned it, right? And he was 120%. And I know people say you can't get more than 100%, but Jap did. He was 120% all about the kids, roller skating through the week. And then on the weekends, he'd have all these bands. They'd come up from Pittsburgh, local bands, wherever. Man, you tell us about, like, remember that.
Yeah, it originally started as Russo's, was here for a while. In the beginning, it was called Rock Roll and Skate.
Okay.
Jap had a partner, Berkstead was his name, from Menneson. Had a few live bands. We, for Valentine's Day, did a big grand opening kind of thing. We're at Metal Fox, that's the show that you've seen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a few days after that, we had a fire and the place burned.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yes.
Wow.
It burned. Took us months to rebuild. And he got rid of the partner, and that's when Jam and Skate was born.
Right on.
We did, let me think. Yeah, when we did the grand reopening, you were in the band.
For the grand reopening,
yeah. It was the finalized lineup.
Yeah.
Me, you, Billy Roberts on drums, Billy Kwasik on bass, and Jamie Sukol, of course, singing.
Right on.
He was one of the keys, and we did the grand reopening.
Wow. I was here. I may not remember, but damn it, I was here.
And I believe Sunset Strip was our opening act.
That could have, yeah, they were probably Animal back then.
Animal. That's with Dave Chilzer singing.
Yes. And then
short-lived.
As time went on and different lineups changed, you know how it is. One band member is in that band, now he's in this band. I ended up being in Sunset Strip. There was a couple other bands, but before Sunset Strip, oh man, this is embarrassing almost, but I was in a band called Ragg Muffin, which was a play on, you had to misspell everything back then. So instead of being Ragamuffin, it was R-A-G-G, new word, muffin, rag. And everybody's like, what the heck's a ragmuffin? I don't even know what a ragmuffin is, but I do have some footage of Ragmuffin here. So let's put that here on Jazz's Rockin' Roadshow.
It's called Turn On the Tears. I wanna get drunk and me
right, so that was Ragg Muffin here at Jam and Skate, playing one of our many hit songs. Hey, it was a different time back then, though. Yes. The fact that I even had a video camera there is freaking amazing. Like, people don't realize, you know, nowadays everybody has a video camera, but back then it was word of mouth. Just the fact, if you had a show, like you guys built this place up, there's no social media. No. It's all passing out flyers and word of mouth. Anything else you want to tell us about Jam and Skate? The legacy, if you will?
You know, it kind of petered out. I mean, back when we started, like, there was so many high school bands.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you can find one now. Well, actually, it petered out. Then Jap ended up, you know, pulling out of the business. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, you know, he's no longer with us. Yeah. After a long bout with mental illness, he, you know, took his own life.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was an amazing man, amazing friend, and amazing brother. Yeah. And we shared a lot of good times up here.
Yeah.
A lot of good times. Well, at least we still have that.
Yeah, Jap, you did a lot for the community, my friend.
Miss you, bro. The thing about it, between him and my mother working a concession stand, you know, no kid was ever turned away.
Oh, never.
If they didn't have money, they saw the show, they skated, they ate pizza and had pop. I don't think he ever really made a dime profit here.
But he had fun. He had as much fun as we did.
Yes, he did.
And you know what? I have a memory with Jap and Ragg Muffin. Here we go. I'm gonna end it with this before we're gonna go to the Coyle Theater. That's our next stop. So Jap would give, like, you had to have talent, but he would give you, you know, if somebody vouched for you, you could play. Right. But Jap had a couple rules. You did not swear on that stage. It was not like it is nowadays where every other word's the F-bomb.
Yeah.
And I remember the first or second song we did It's So Easy from Guns N' Roses, and I told him beforehand, but he did he dropped the F-bomb. Oh my goodness, did things explode. I mean, it was like, I had to do a lot of mending after that, but that was how it was back then. Like, it wasn't, you know, we were rebels. And we didn't need to swear.
The worst was Harry Sucks. Their drummer wore a tutu and a jock strap. And when Jap got wind of that, boy, he just went apeshit.
It was done. Yeah. All right. Hey, you feel like going to the Coyle Theater? Because I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
So the Coyle Theater is another place where we used to play, and it's in Charleroi, Pennsylvania. So we are going to head to the Coyle. Here we are at the Coyle Theater. Metal Foxx played here twice, right?
Twice in 87.
87.
June and August.
Yeah, so this was a big, I mean, it's a grass field now, but it was a big movie theater.
Correct.
Seated what?
1,000 people.
1,000 people. So imagine that nowadays, local band playing a venue that size.
Packing 1,000.
Yeah,
no.
It was crazy back then.
Nationals don't get that.
It was a different time back then. Well, hey, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
I have a video of Metal Foxx,
all right,
performing Action Not Words.
Oh my.
The tune he wrote.
Our only original.
The only original we did, written by Lou, performed right there at the Coyle Theater. You want to see it?
Yes, sir. Let's roll it.
Roll it.
This song wrote, this is called Action Not Words.
We need to have a Metal Foxx reunion.
Yes,
And find a theater, put our logo up behind it. I'm in. You in?
I'm in.
All right. You saw it here first on Jazz's Rockin' Roadshow. All right. We are here in Baldwin, Pennsylvania, right off of 51. Shooting some video at this location with my dear friend, Mr. Sean Nestor, lead singer from Half Wheel, Homicide, Black Silk 9 currently, and then back in the day, the one and only Sunset Strip. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And where are we?
We are at the now defunct but once beloved and always packed Someplace Else.
That's right. Look at that. Representing someplace else. Just right off of 51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stone's throw.
Yeah.
Stone's throw.
So this place used to be freaking hopping all the time. All the time.
This was one of, if not the place in the South Hills area, because not only did they have jam nights on Tuesdays,
Right.
and then you get a good gig, you go play Wednesday,
Right.
Friday and Saturday, insane. And then on Sunday, for all of us youngins who couldn't drink, and yes, we were that young back then. So we would have under 21 nights,
Yeah.
and that's most of the nights we would play jam nights, or we would play the under 21 nights, or all ages night, whatever you want to call it.
And it would be packed.
It would be a line out the door
Yeah.
to get in this place.
So what you can't see right here is, like, if you go around it, it's a hotel. Like, so there were a bunch of rooms back there. We used to rent the rooms by the hour for the band.
Looking at what used to be the hotel behind Someplace Else, where we used to rent rooms by the hour to use its dressing rooms.
Yeah. Man, this used to be packed.
We'd go to Century 3 Mall, and we'd paper flyer, because we didn't have social media. So we had paper flyers that we would get at Kinko's or whatever, and have all of our schedule, cut them on a paper cutter and whatever, pass them out, put them on cars. People looking at them, and then hopefully about 30 to 40% show up here.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see, Danny and Linda were the owners here.
Yes.
They're both since passed on.
Yes.
But they took care of all the bands really, there were a lot of good people here back then.
Danny, I was the main contact for the band, and Danny would call me and ask, what our availability was.
Yeah.
He was super, always very, very gracious to us. Another great story with Danny and Linda, mostly Linda. Jam night. I'll name drop because these people are still around and friends and everything. Jam night back then was hosted. The guitarist was Darren Lazzari, bass
From the
player.
band Action.
Correct.
Right.
And Dave Wolfinger was the bass
Yep.
player. So
Used to work at pianos and stuff.
that's correct. Yeah, that was good. It's a very small.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we sat there and we're gonna do jam night, and 3 guys go up to do a set, and it's a set of twins, and another guy playing drums.
Right.
And they decide to tell the audience that they're going to do a song called Peace Porridge High. And that's all well and good. Until 6 minutes later, this song was still going on with chord number 1, chord number 2, chord number 3, the same lyrics. Everybody starts looking around at each other like, are we being punked? What's happening? We got to get these guys a shepherd hook off the stage. So the house band went up, said, hey, you got to get off. And they're like looking right at him, ignoring him. Darren tells the guy, you got to get out of here. Guy, point as close as we are, and the lights are, everything's backlit.
Right.
Just hawks a loogie, right?
Ooh.
Explodes right off Darren's chest. And that's when the bell rang, and this place became an Old West saloon. With fighting all over the place. Flash forward to the drummer being bent backwards over the bar, and Linda, God bless her soul, punching him repeatedly in the forehead. And
With a drumstick in her hand, right?
because she took one, because he's holding the other drumstick like this, and she's punching him repeatedly. Cops came. Fortunately, the bouncer, Paul at the time.
Another good guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. Talked to the cops because we were underage, but we weren't drinking. He got us out of any potential issues. So, but that wasn't a typical-ish night there. It was mostly fun, but that was fun too. So, just saying.
Well, that's a perfect segue because, believe it or not, in my VHS archives, I found an old VHS cassette tape of Sunset Strip performing the song Knock 'em Down, Knock 'em Up, at someplace else. All right, Sean, where are we at?
1600 Smallman Street,
Which was the home to the one and only?
Metropole.
Yes, Metropole was one of the coolest clubs in Pittsburgh to see shows. They had that whole building behind us, basically, right? Or most of it.
At least 2/3 of
Yeah.
it at one point in time, and then they sectioned it off into 2 venues, but still had national acts, local acts.
Yeah.
And when you played there, there was a full catwalk. I mean, it was an
balcony
experience.
area too, I think, right?
Yeah, and it was very industrial inside. So if you were a singer, you wanted to have a wireless mic, you're taking your chances because there's a bunch of interference in there, but it didn't matter. You needed a wireless mic.
That's true. You couldn't play in the late 80s without a wireless mic
no.
and a million park amps.
No.
So it was big, and then they divided it, and they had Rosebud, which was like kind of up there, more of like an acoustic bar.
Actually, Rosebud was here.
Was it?
So
Okay.
Metropole stayed there. That later became M.
Yeah.
And this became Rosebud, which was an acoustic kind of softer rock venue for a while until it started to be the home to bands like The Scream, Badlands, Tesla. So it was a full rock club as well.
So, and you saw Wasp and Motorhead here, didn't you?
I most certainly did. When it was a little smaller in Metropole,
Yeah,
I saw, I want to say that was
KFD tour.
96 or 7. Motorhead opening for Wasp. Absolutely amazing show.
Well, we don't have any footage of that, but we played there a lot. We used to open up for Triple X all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I found on a VHS tape, because that's the theme of the whole show, I found a VHS tape of us playing East LA, opening up for Triple X at Metropole. So let's check it out. right, Sean. I've got one more Sunset Strip performance on VHS from Metropole.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah. Would you like to take a guess? And let me help you out. The rant before the song goes something like this. You might as well do it anyways because you're going to get blamed for it.
Oh, that goes way back.
Do you know what song that is?
That would be the one and only Jumpin' the Gun.
Jumping the Gun.
You're going to get blamed for it anyway, so you might as well do it. This is called Jumping the Gun.
So check this out, Sean. After the Sunset Strip days, I was playing in a band called September's Child, and we played all around the city too. But I actually found some footage of September's Child playing at Metropole.
Moonlighting.
But here's the greatest thing about shooting videos back then, you know, because you had to buy physical media all the time, and like you recycled it because he's like, I ain't buying another $10 VHS tape or however much they were. So I have like 3/4 of the song, and then like something recorded over like Battlestar Galactica or something.
Matlock or something.
Matlock, yeah, it's Smurfs, I think. So this is most of Smiling at the World from September's Child here at Metropole. I'm up at Mount Washington overlooking the lovely city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Woohoo! But more importantly, overlooking what used to be the Icy Light Amphitheater, which is right by Station Square. Used to be an amphitheater that had concerts and different events like that, Rib Fest, all that kind of cool stuff. But when they originally built it, it faced this way. So if you were in the band playing, you faced, Mount Washington, and all the sound went up here. They had a lot of complaints. So it closed several times and reopened, and then they tried to orient it so that the sound went that way. Kind of didn't work. It opened in like 1989, I think. I'll double check that. But it was permanently closed in 2012, so it really didn't last all that long as a concert venue. It's now a soccer stadium for the Riverhounds. But I do have a video from September's Child performing the song Pony Girl at the Icy Light Amphitheater. So, check it out. was the VHS episode. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did.